Yeah, Jack, which one gave you some issue? The abundant sharks, that's because I told you to skip that one. That makes sense. So yeah, you should have skipped I and J. They took off the abundant sharks from this year's reference table. I'm not sure when they took it off. I don't remember if it was there last year or not, but abundant sharks isn't listed there anymore. Earliest sharks is on the reference table still, but not abundant. So if you had put if you put a number for abundant, I can tell you it's wrong because there isn't one. Yeah. You couldn't find F. Yes, earliest reptiles. How many other people struggled with that one, at least at first? It's definitely hiding. So I don't know if I believe the rest of you who didn't raise your hands. It is right there. I know you can't read it. So it is in the, I'd say it's the middle or early. So I took either one of those answers for abundant sharks, or I'm sorry, earliest reptiles, not abundant sharks. It's right there. So earlier, middle Mississippian. It is hiding. So that is another case of where it's important just to take your time, read through it, read all the words, because that is like the second half of that sentence, I guess you'd say. So just be careful with that one. Any others that you struggled with? Everything else came perfectly easy, so you got it all right. Which one? On the second chart? The first chart? C, diverse bony fishes. Or yeah, so first of all, who has issues with the word fishes? Or did we already talk about this? No, it's actually correct. Fishes is correct when referring to multiple species of fish. The only time it's acceptable. So if you had a whole tank of goldfish, they're just fish. But if you have goldfish and betta fish or salmon, they're called fishes. So there, did you ever think I would teach you something about ELA? No, but I did. That's the one and only thing that I know. Anyway, moving on. It is, so let me see what, well, one would have thought I would have, there it is. There's my answer. It is in early Cretaceous. So where's the Cretaceous? Diverse bony fishes right there. Early Cretaceous. So again, it's just kind of, is that? Yeah, so it does tell you right there, diverse. It just means there's a lot of different kinds of bony fish. Again, that's why they use the word fishes. Don't get overwhelmed by that, but whatever the words the Regents uses on here is the words they'll use in the questions. Again, that also tricks people up because there's abundant, there's diverse, there's earliest, and there's extinction. So if they're looking for abundant, you find the word abundant. If they want earliest, you find earliest. Don't just find something about fish. Any others that were issues? How about down in the questions? Did you guys all get to question 10? What? Question 10. What? You don't know?
Oh,
you had issues with that one? Maybe a little. So I thought you might. So it says yeah, no, it wants a location. So it says give the approximate location of North America and Western New York 362 million years ago. Well, there's 359. There's 416. So we're looking somewhere in this section. And luckily enough, they give us a map. Now, this map is from 359 million years ago. So it's kind of close to 362. You might notice that North America is shaded black. Where in North America is Western New York? Okay, if there's the lakes right there. So we're kind of near that. And what location could you say that is really close to what? It is close to the center, as you say, center of the earth. Prime meridian isn't going to be it because the prime meridian we can't tell on a map, but you can tell the equator. So it is really close to the equator. If this is the equator, North America is darn near it, way closer at least than we are today. So that's number 10. We are close to the equator. All right. Any others that gave you issue? I still can't hear you. That would have been cool. No, it would have been hot. Duh. Yeah, it's definitely better than that. I'm not sure when winter got back. It's got here sometime after I got to school because it didn't look like that when we got off the bus, did it? And like, that's shocking. I'm not sure when the blizzard started. All right, anyway, here's the answers then. Let's go through them real quick. Late Silurian for earliest insects, early Cretaceous. Earliest fish was Middle Cambrian. Earliest birds, late Jurassic. Earliest reptiles, you could have put middle. I put Mississippian, but if you did put Carboniferous, they would have accepted that too. Humans, be careful with this one. This is Pleistocene. And the reason I say be careful is see how close the word Pleistocene is with this Paleocene. I'm not sure at least how to pronounce either one of them. But why I'm telling you to be careful is see how close in spelling they are. They're PLs and I's and O's and E's. Just please do not write the wrong one. Make sure you copy the right word, because if you write the other word, I have to mark it wrong. And that's the case with a lot of these words, like all these words that look almost the same. Just be careful writing them. Earliest trilobites, that would be early Cambrian. You could have skipped the last two. One of my classes, I did have them do earliest, so that's why there's an answer there. Uplift of Adirondacks, that's early Cretaceous. Again, you could have got rid of C here. And then we have early or middle Jurassic. It's hard to say exactly where that one was. And then late Triassic. Questions on any of those? All right, then going through, notice I underlined the word period. Later on, there's periods. Here's the word era. Please read careful. If they want the period, your answer has to come from the period. If they want the era, they want that column. If they want the eon, they want this column. So always make sure you read carefully. So that first one, I got Permian. What? Am I wrong? For the Acanian. Heck yeah, it is, because I gave you, I did, yeah, don't do what I did. I just saw the letter A and I went with the Alleghenian. It wanted the Acanian. So that's 100% Devonian. Now I feel like an idiot, but yeah. That Nick, I did it to remind you of the rules, okay? So remember the number one rule of earth science, to read all the words, not just the first letter. No, I just did it to prove a point. It worked, right? That's what I thought. So what caused this? Good thing I double checked this. It says it was caused by the collision of North America and Avalon and closing of the remaining part of the Iaptus Ocean. You ever heard of that ocean? You ever heard of that continent? Where'd they go? They didn't sink. A collision of North America and Avalon. Yeah, what's Avalon? Where'd it go? It's all the way gone into the Acanian mountains. Not positive where those are. Any of you know? Probably somewhere on the East Coast, I'm guessing. Should probably know that. But yeah, they're gone. That entire continent is gone because it collided with North America and it completely disappeared. Just like India is colliding with Asia, making Mount Everest. What's eventually going to happen to India? It's going to do the same thing. India is going to be completely gone up into those mountains. Moving on, we got, so number 3, Paleozoic. Again, they wanted an era. Stop me if I'm wrong again, because I just want to prove a point. Remember for length, to do the length, you take the starting time and the ending time and you subtract 85.5. Huh? I did the math. So maybe I'm wrong. It's always a possibility. Mesozoic began here 251. I'm not wrong. So 251 is when it began. Mesozoic ended at 65.5. Yeah, I'm right that time. 85.5. 185.5. Then we got Paleozoic for the longest. Again, this one wanted period, so that was the Ordovician. Phanerozoic began 542 million years ago. Jurassic again here, I showed the math. It's 200 minus 146, which gives you 54. What's up? Here? For when the first coral reef?
Yeah, it's not hard though.
Oh, okay. Got it. First forest would have been the Devonian. We already went over 10, which is the equator. And first flowering plants, I went with 100 million years ago, but I gave you the range. It could be anywhere between 65.5 and 146, but not 65.5 or 146. What? Did I mess you up? Good. Can you turn the page? I want you to do 3 more questions. That's it. Take a look at number 16, 20, and 21. 16, 20, and 21. Find those answers. Remember that the index fossils is this column right here, and they correspond to the fossils on the bottom of the reference table. Do we get those 3? Name the index fossil from the Cambrian period. Yeah, that's what I say. I think it's a Liptophilia. You guys probably know better than I do because you're better at sounding out words. So to do this, remember, these are the index fossils. Each circle is one of these individual fossils down here. So here's the Cambrian. Go over, there is only one circle there, letter A. Do not write letter A. You have to write this word. And again, be careful. You don't have to spell it perfectly, but make sure it doesn't look like a different word. So there's an E word, there's an E word, there's an E word. There's another one over here. So just make sure you're spelling something that looks like that. Yeah. Oh, well,
As in separate.
oh, I'll just take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. How about why are there no birds in the Ordovician? They did not exist yet. So to answer that, your words should say something like they didn't exist or birds were not around until much later. So here's the Ordovician. And by the way, here's when the earliest birds got there during the Jurassic. So any rocks formed during the Ordovician would not have any bird fossils in them. And then 21 would be a good index fossil from the Triassic. Again, you find the Triassic. There is only one listed there, letter L. Again, do not write L. Write down Cloophyceus. I think it's right. I said Cloophyceus. Cloophyceus. Not sure if any of us are right, but I'll take your words for it. 3 more on the next page. 33, which is the very top one on the next page. 39 and 40. So the first one and the last 2. Hint, they're also using that fossil column. So again, hint, you need this time distribution of fossils. Are the branchiopod? Branchiopod. So these are the lines. We're looking at the lines in this column. That's why. So like brachiopods, just like if we had a column that said dogs, dogs would be a line and then each specific breed would be a circle. That's not quite true. It'd be more like canines. And then you'd have dogs and wolves and fox and things like that, but no, they're not. Wait, I'm wrong. They're not. What are they? I'm Googling. Wow, I learned so many things from you guys. Are we done with these 3 or not yet? No. Okay, thank you. I sometimes forget I've been doing this more than I have not been doing. Kind of part of my life. Are we stuck on one? The last one? Okay, I don't know if everybody. Oh, the last 2. Sure. Well, number 39, that's on your timeline lab. Did you get that wrong on the lab or haven't you turned it in yet? Okay. All right, let's go through them. All right, so which lived the longest time? Brachiopods, crinoids, dinosaurs, or corals? As I brought up when you guys were asking, each one of these is a line. The line tells you how long they lived. For example, dinosaurs started here, ended there. Brachiopods, on the other hand, start way down here, and they still exist today. So brachiopods are the ones that have been around the longest. That's what the question asked, right? Yeah. Out of those 4, brachiopods are the longest. Often they ask about the shortest, and be careful with that. There are a few really short ones. Dinosaurs is usually the ones people pick, but these plastiderm fish, they're also really short. So just make sure you look at all 4 answers instead of just going with, oh, that one looks pretty short, it must be the shortest. So look at all 4 answers. All right, number 39, the presence of which index fossil in the surface of bedrock most likely indicates that a forest environment once existed. Guys, what are some things that you might find in a forest? Trees. What else?
Animals.
Plants, animals, birds. What won't you find in a forest? Okay, yes, well, let's talk about fossils. Fish, corals, shellfish, so like clams. So we're looking for something that would live in a forest. And there are 4 answers, so it is always helpful to go by process of elimination. And that first one, which again, I have no idea how to pronounce, is right there. It's letter Q, which just happens to be a tree. So that is probably the answer. If you kept going and double checked though, that first one, again, I have no idea how to pronounce it, is this shell. So again, you don't find shells in forest. The other ones are also more shells. So that one is number 1. And then finally, the diagram to the right shows an index fossil found in the surface bedrock in some parts of New York State. We want to know which one of these landscapes it could be found in. So that is letter W. When was letter W made? Well, here's W. Sometime during the Ordovician. Keep that in the back of your head. Luckily, we have a map of New York State. And it does tell you that these diagonal stripes represent the Ordovician. Then we can go process of elimination. There's the Tug Hill Plateau just to the right of Lake Ontario. Oh, look, diagonal lines right there. So that is the Tug Hill Plateau. You could keep going. The Allegheny Plateau, that's down here. That's polka dots. The Adirondack Mountains here, that's squiggles. And the Newark Lowlands is this very small section right there. Also not correct. So hopefully you're feeling a little more confidence for the quiz tomorrow. We'll do the quiz and then keep going with our relative ages, putting stuff in order from oldest to youngest. No homework tonight for you guys. Finally, you didn't have